Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin this Valentine's Day edition of The Wrestling News with NXT broadcast live last night on USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker defeated the D'Angelo family to become the new NXT Tag Team Champions when Braun Breaker pinned Tony D'Angelo.
I'm talking about alpha intensity. And the Wolf Dogs go from the hunters to the hunted here in NXT.
The win marks the first title for Corbin since holding the United States Championship for 2 months in 2017. In the opening match, Noam Dar and Oro Mensah teamed to defeat Von Wagner and Mr. Stone. In a gauntlet match, Ridge Holland won out over both members of Gallus, first pinning Wolfgang, then defeating Mark Coffey by disqualification due to outside interference. During an in-ring promo segment, Oba Femi granted Lexis King a shot at his North American title on next week's show. The two brawled at the conclusion of the segment. In other results, Kiana James pinned Brynlee Reese, Jada Parker beat Adriana Rizzo, Lola Vice beat Tatum Paxley by submission, and Carmelo Hayes pinned Joe Gacy. After the match, Gacy was attacked by Dijak. In ratings news, this past Monday's Raw drew a total audience of 1.747 million viewers to USA, according to WrestleNomics. That's a decrease of 7.5% from last week's audience of 1.889 million. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .56, equating to 739,000 viewers, which was also down from last week's .58 key demo rating. The rating for last Friday's AEW Collision achieved its highest overall viewership since October 21st, 2023, averaging 491,000 viewers for TNT. The total audience was up from last week's 404,000 viewers, according to WrestleNomics. The rating in the key demographic was .15, up from last week's .12 and equating to 204,000 viewers. And the newest edition of NWA Powerrr debuted on Tuesday via streaming on the CW Network's website and app, with matches taped on January 13th at Revolution Live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. In the main event, Silas Mason defeated Paul Burchill to make the fifth defense of his NWA National Heavyweight title reign. Other title matches on the show saw the Immortals, Kratos and Odinson, retain the NWA United States Tag Team Championship by turning back the challenge of Sage Chance and Tommy Rant. And in a unification match, NWA World Women's Champion Max the Impaler added the NWA World Television title to their collection by defeating Mims.
Trying to restart it. No. Was he showboating up there? Apparently a huge mistake. Stacked up. Center of the ring. Oh my God! It's over!
The winner of this match and first unified NWA Television Champion,
Mims' television title reign ends after 137 days and 3 successful defenses. NWA Powerrr opened with Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch fighting the Southern Six team of Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton to a no contest when the referee threw the match out. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.